Let's face it, a good spaghetti dinner is so good and comforting. When I make spaghetti with sausage, I usually use hot or sweet Italian sausage. Tonight I'm using hot Italian sausage, and this is a turkey brand. It will add a nice pop of heat and spiciness to the spaghetti sauce. In my skillet on medium heat, I'm adding in a little oil to the pan and the sausage. Cooking for 2 to 3 minutes until a nice browning forms, and then flipping over and cooking for another minute, and then removing from the pan. The sausage is not thoroughly cooked, but we will add them back to the sauce to finish cooking later. You can see there is some good flavorful bits left on the bottom of the pan. I'm adding in a couple more tablespoons of oil, 1 medium finely diced onion, a bell pepper, and 1 8-ounce package of mushrooms. These are going to add a nice bulk and flavor to our sauce. Cooking and stirring for 5 to 8 minutes or until the veggies start to soften and release their moisture. That moisture will help deglaze the pan. Adding in 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and black pepper and about 5 cloves of minced garlic. Cooking and stirring for a minute, and then I'm adding in 1 small can of tomato paste. Cooking and stirring until incorporated and cooking for another minute. Here I have 1 28-ounce can each of tomato sauce and crushed tomatoes. Stirring and turning up my heat slightly to bring this up to a simmer. This is 1 teaspoon each of Italian seasonings, oregano, basil, and garlic powder. The hot Italian sausage that I purchased is spicy, so I'm not adding any red pepper flakes. If you like the sauce spicier, you can add to your liking. And to balance out the acidity of the tomatoes, I'm adding in 1 tablespoon of sugar. Don't worry, this will not make it sweet. You can even add more to your liking if you wish. Giving that a good stir to combine, and then placing in the hot Italian sausage back into the pan. Bringing this up to a simmer, covering, and cooking for 30 minutes, occasionally stirring. It's been 30 minutes and the entire house is smelling so good. I'm adding in 1 teaspoon more of Italian seasonings and a sprinkle more of basil. This is a 1/2 cup of fresh grated parmesan cheese. This will help mellow out the tomatoes and bring everything together. The second round of spices brings a depth and brightness to the sauce. Stirring to incorporate, covering, and simmering for an additional 10 to 15 minutes. The sausage and the sauce is done. If you could smell this. The sauce is nice and rich and thick. Of course you can choose the pasta of your choice. Tonight I'm serving with spaghetti. You could also use this sauce with tortellini, ravioli, stuffed shells, or even lasagna. The hot Italian sausage released its flavors and spiciness into the sauce. A nice background of heat. I hope you give the spaghetti with the hot Italian sausage recipe a try, and enjoy! I'm starting by sautéing the vegetables in butter. In my skillet on medium heat, I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of butter, 4 cloves of minced garlic, 1 cup of onions, 1 cup of bell peppers, and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Cooking and stirring for 3 to 4 minutes or just until the onions change color, and then I'm removing from the heat. I have a pound of spaghetti that I'm breaking in half and cooking for 7 minutes or just shy of being done. I'm breaking it because it'll be easier to eat. While the spaghetti is cooking, I'm mixing all my other ingredients. In a large bowl, I have 2 cans of cream and mushroom soup, and I'm adding in 1 cup of chicken broth, giving that a good whisk. Now all my sautéed vegetables, about 2 good tablespoons of chopped pimentos, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of oregano, giving that a good stir to incorporate. This is 8 ounces of cubed Velveeta cheese and 8 ounces of shredded sharp cheddar cheese. If you don't have the Velveeta, just use all sharp cheddar, giving another good stir. I have 3 cups of diced cooked rotisserie chicken. You can also use canned chicken in this recipe. Another good stir. My 7-minute timer just went off and the spaghetti is ready. Using a large strainer spoon to put the spaghetti directly into the mixture. Adding in another cup of chicken broth. You got it, another good stir. I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. In my greased 9x13 baking dish, I'm spooning in my chicken spaghetti mixture and leveling out. Covering with foil, and this is going into the oven for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, remove from the oven, uncover, and sprinkle the top with a cup more of the grated cheddar cheese. It's always better with more cheese. Going back into the oven uncovered for an additional 10 minutes or until the cheese is melted and bubbly. The chicken spaghetti casserole is done and smelling good. Letting it rest for about 15 minutes because it is molten hot. This is such an easy casserole, and you can get most of the ingredients from your pantry. You can make this your own by adding the seasonings and vegetables that you like. I hope you give this chicken spaghetti casserole a try and enjoy. Cincinnati chili is a Mediterranean spiced meat sauce used for topping spaghetti and hot dogs. It is unique, flavorful, and different. The recipe and the process is very similar to the copycat Coney Island hot dog and Greek hot dog sauce recipes I have on my channel, and if you have a chance, please check them out. I have tried different versions of this recipe, and my family thinks the recipe I'm about to show you is the best. So let's get started. First off, I don't have my stove heat on yet, and what is really nice is that everything gets thrown into the pot. I'm adding in 4 cups of beef broth, 1 cup of water, and 1 14-ounce can of tomato sauce, giving that a good stir. And then I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and I'm taking a whisk to break it up and mix it in. In goes 1 large finely diced onion, a pinch or 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, 3 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of allspice, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. What a combination! Giving that a good whisk to get all those spices incorporated. Some recipes also use cloves, but we don't like the taste. Also, some use Worcestershire sauce, but it really doesn't seem to make a difference. These are optional, and this is one of those recipes you need to make a couple times to figure out how you like it. Now I'm turning my heat on to bring this to a simmer. Here is the unique part, 1 ounce of unsweetened shaved chocolate. If you don't have the chocolate available, you can also use 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. The chocolate really adds a nice mellow background to the sauce. This may seem to be a weird combo of spices, but trust me, it is really good. Before the sauce gets hot, break up 2 pounds of ground beef into the pot and give it a good stir. You want the meat granules to separate and become a very fine texture. This is the same process I used in the Coney Island and Greek hot dog sauce. Just keep stirring and you will see the ground beef breaking up. I'm bringing this to a light simmer, partially covering and cooking for about 1 hour and occasionally stirring. Cincinnati chili is on the thinner side, but we want it to lay on the spaghetti. When done, I'm skimming off some of the fat from the top and giving it one last stir. And now the fun part. You can serve this 3-way, 4-way, or 5-way. Tonight I'm going to show you all the way 5-way. First, a layer of spaghetti. Second, a layer of kidney beans, and I just heated these through in the microwave. Third, a nice heaping scoop of that delicious chili sauce, and don't be stingy. The fourth layer is a sprinkle of diced onions for a little bite and crunch. And finally, the fifth layer is copious amounts of shredded cheddar cheese. So, the 3-way is the spaghetti, the chili, and the cheese. The 4-way includes the onions, and the 5-way includes the beans. Let me know in the comments below how you like your Cincinnati chili. The warm spices and the chocolate really add a nice flavor blend to the chili. It is hard to describe the taste, but it is really good. I hope you give it a try and enjoy. If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!